Today we're going to be working with the Nativity by a Maker Studio, and I decided to make some Christmas cards. It is my first time using the ink on and the mesh stencils on paper. So I will tell you the pros and cons as we go along. And this is a beautiful mesh stencil with a variety of images, and I'm going to start by just cutting out what I'm going to want to use with a pair of scissors. And you want to make sure that you keep your packaging for your stencil so you have a place to keep it for your next use. Today I'm going to use a plastic spreader, and I'm going to cut it up into smaller pieces. And I found these cards. I found they're in the like a cardboard color, the brown. And they came with the card and the envelope. I got them from Michael's. And then I picked up some white ones right at the Dollar General. Now I started with you want to put some something down underneath. And this was my first mistake. I started taping having paper towels underneath, but I quickly learned that you want something, maybe a plate, a piece of glass, so that you can tape off, because you don't want any of your ink to get on to your card, or you want to keep it on the mesh. So I'm starting with this manger scene, and I decided to do Jesus in the yellow and then the rest in the black ink. Using my spreader, I tried to just move from the inside outside to the in. And this kind of kept any card part that was exposed protected by just kind of, again, moving from the outside in with the mesh. And you want to put just a little bit of pressure to get that ink all the way through. This came out so pretty. I instantly loved it against the white. These are the wise men. And then this says, wise men still seek him. And I decided to do the wise men in the metallic gold that we have. And again, I didn't catch on. Don't tape with the paper towel underneath. But it all worked out. This is the metallic gold. I did that on the wise men. And if it's your first time, you may not want to switch around with a lot of colors until you kind of get it down. And then I did the lettering in the black. Yep, tape sticks to paper towels. Anyway, it turned out fine. And that was the last time I did that. So I'm going to go to the brown paper, and this says Peace on Earth. And I'm just going to show you some varieties of what I chose, just so you can see what it looks like on a card. I use the black ink. I just love the simplicity of this. If you want to make homemade cards. And here's the shepherd and the wise men on the other side. This says our Savior is born. And then the top says rejoice. Rejoice, our Savior is born. Again, you're seeing how I'm going from the outside in, especially when you're dealing with a small area. I did want to put tape on my cardboard here, right on my card. And I felt like the plastic spreader was better when it came to detail versus my rubber, which is a little thicker. And I'm taking just a little razor blade and going into the corner to peel these up. And I think this is my last one. The weary world rejoices. There are so many things you can do with these. You could put this on a, little wooden house. You could do these on the blocks on either side. I did the star and the metallic gold, and you can't really see it in this particular viewing, but at the end, when I took my final photo, it came out well. So the stars on the left, I did more in a yellow, so you could see the difference. It did stand out a little bit more than the metallic golds against the brown paper. So now I'm going to try something different. I've picked up these white globes from the Dollar Tree, and now I started with my rubber spreader. And again, this is my first time doing any of these, and I learned quickly that you want to use a paintbrush to add your ink when it comes to the globes, because the stencil did not lay down perfect. Anytime you hit a round surface, it caused some wrinkling, and it was much more easy to control with a paintbrush. I did the manger at first with the rubber spreader, and I did have some bleed through. I think I was just pushing the paint too far into those imperfect wrinkles. So then I figured out that if you laid it down and you want to, kind of like go with the wrinkles, press them down the best you can, and use a paintbrush, I had much more control, and the rest of them came out really well with the ink. And I just love the black and the white on these globes. You could also roll these in glitter. There's so much you could do with them. And I really hope you enjoyed this video. For other tutorials, go check us out on YouTube. You can now watch all our videos at chalkitupfancy.com. For any paint products, tissue paper transfer, or mesh stencils, chalkitupfancy.com. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day, and happy card making. Thank you so much.